What's going on, everybody? It's Ian here with Miller Garage. It's a beautiful day, a little windy, but that's okay. And the Salon Airstream is complete. So just had it out here on the property and wanted to give you guys a little walk around of it and show you everything and show you guys how it turned out. So I'll start with the exterior, and as you can see, it has a full mirror polish done. This build also has a brand new awning canvas fabric. This is actually a Carefree awning, which is something that Airstream used for a little bit during the 70s. I don't know if it extended much beyond that, only for a couple years, and then they went back to using the Zipped awnings. You know, after working with this one, I can definitely tell why Airstream opted to go back to the Zipties. This thing it says Carefree, but it's really not. It was kind of a pain in the butt to work with, but I got it. The spring is still intact because they tend to break on these, and it works, so we're good to go. Moving on from there, with the front door, the clients had actually already installed the door lock. I just built a new plate for it, sealed it up and everything, and then just open up the door here. And as you can see, the interior skins are all white, and obviously we did the same thing with the door here. And then we have all of our our vents, the water inlets, electrical, all that kind of stuff is right here, just so it's like easy access and all that. And then not a heck of a lot else going on the exterior. I'll pan the other side and we can see, obviously, I rebuilt the windows, just sealed everything up. I mean, it was kind of, pretty straightforward in that regard. Didn't do anything too crazy on the outside. There was no, repairs or panel replacements or any of that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna take a step inside. And as we come inside, you can see this is where the majority of the custom work that I did was. Whenever they brought it to me, they had already done the subfloor, I believe. And then they had put the wood flooring in, and this is actual hardwood flooring. So that was interesting to see in an Airstream. I'd never done that before, but it looks pretty cool. And then I basically, and then it was just bare. No skins, no insulation, none of that. They did a little bit of the wiring, but everything else from there was built out by me. Probably one of the things that I love the most on this build is definitely the end caps. So this has the copper end caps, and this is actually an anodized aluminum. So actual copper is pretty expensive, so this was the best option there. So this is a Salon Airstream, but it's also going to be used for like weddings and events and stuff like that. And so they installed a bar up here, and this is going to be for like serving drinks and all that kind of stuff. There'll be a mini fridge in there and all of that. And this was an old bar that they had, I think, whether it was in their family or something like that, and they just really liked it. It's definitely unique, and it kind of fits with the copper and the colors there and stuff. So I just basically did some restoration on it, restained the actual bar itself, put the copper down here, and then just cleaned everything up. And I think it turned out really good. And then we kind of built an elevated platform for it to go on. And so, I think that really is a big, high-impact thing to have in the very front of this Airstream. For the rest of the interior skins, we used a white-painted aluminum, and this is, I think, way better and a lot less work than to have to go and actually paint the interior skins. I did that somewhat on the Opus coffee shop one, and man, it was a pain in the butt. This is a much better way to go, and I have another one coming that is going to be, they want the all white, 100% white interior skins, including the end caps and everything, and so I'm definitely going to go the pre-painted aluminum route on that. Obviously, painted the window frames to match, both on the stack windows and the regular ones. And then we got, these are actually out of, I believe, like 90 something Airstreams. And they definitely take a little bit of modification to make fit. Those came in literally like 3 or 4 days ago. We weren't expecting them to actually make it, but they did, and so got them in there, and they look great. They look a lot better than like the slide up closeouts that they normally have, which are just horrible and they break and they just look terrible. So huge improvement. And those are direct through Airstream. You can still get them. So I use DFW Airstream for my Airstream parts, so you can check them out. I'll have an email for the parts person below. And then in the middle of the Airstream is where all of the work gets done. So on both sides we have countertops to allow a lot of workspace. On the left is going to be where the salon stations are, and there's going to be mirrors here, but we don't have those in yet. The clients are going to be coming in tomorrow, and we're going to finish mounting that with the chair in place and stuff, so we can get an idea of where it really needs to be. These are some old, I guess, like nightstands or dressers or something like that they wanted to incorporate into this counter section over here. And then there's obviously like a larger open section here for stuff to go. And then there's going to be essentially two stations. There's going to be a chair here and a chair here. And then over here on the right side, we have pretty much in these four cabinets here is all of the plumbing. The tanks are actually under here. There's the gray tank there, and then the fresh tank here. And there's all the plumbing. There's the pump and the water heater, and we're actually using an electric water heater in this one to totally avoid having to use any propane. And then over here is some actual storage space, and that's the only cabinet area that is really like dedicated to storage space is these two here. We don't have the door handles and stuff on it yet because they want to pick that out and have that be their choice and stuff like that, as well as like the backsplash. There's a few things that they're wanting to do just stylistically, and so they're going to be figuring that out kind of once they get it back. So, and then a little bit further back, we have the hair wash station, and this is like an actual full-size one, so that's pretty sweet. And then all the way in the back here, we have this wraparound L bench, and this is for like the bridal party to be hanging out whenever other people are getting their hair done, and just people to be sitting and chatting and drinking or whatever. And they're gonna have it upholstered. That's why it's just it just kind of looks plain and bare, but it's gonna have upholstered seating and all that kind of stuff. Unfortunately, like those things I can't show and have for like the final product. But what I did do is there is under the seat storage here, so there's a ton of room in here for all that kind of stuff on both sides. So there's lots of storage still available here. Another cool feature that I really like is that there's LED uplighting all the way around the entire length of this, and that really makes the copper pop whenever that's on. We'll get some footage of that whenever it gets a little darker so it can really stand out, but that looks just amazing. I really love how that is. There's also dual air conditioning units on this. They had those pre-installed. I just kind of finished the underside and the wiring and that stuff. And to accommodate that, this one has two hookups. We have a 50 amp and then a 30 amp. And those are just like normal RV hookups. It's not like the Opus one where we had like the 220 50 amp for the espresso machine. This is not 220. Technically, yeah, you can wire it to be, but it is not in this configuration. And speaking of the electrical, the panels are actually mounted down under here. There's one on this side and one on that side. And this is the 30 amp, and then the 50 amp is over there. And we have a lot of power in here because there's the air conditioners, there's a kegerator fridge over here. There's, they're going to be using blow dryers, and there's just a lot of, need for power. And so we wanted to make sure that there was plenty for them to, do whatever they need to do. So I really like how this Airstream turned out. It's minimalistic, but it has a high-end look, especially with like the copper and all that kind of stuff. And I'm excited for the clients to see it tomorrow. I'm sure they're gonna love it and be really excited about it. So I'm still taking on more Airstreams for this year. The rest of this year, I am pretty much fully booked on projects. But in 2021, I should be able to take on more stuff. So if you're interested, feel free to reach out to me. Contact information is below. I appreciate everyone for watching this, and we will see you next time. So one of the cool things about the uplighting in the back is that it has a party mode. Oh yeah.